Hey everyone, it's Baze Junkie transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video, and well, finally back with my chart haul for March 2K25. A bunch of records I want to show you. It's late in the month, so it's like the 23rd or so I'm gonna like hurry up and get through those. The first one you've seen already in a dedicated announcement video, so it's just a short show here. This is IMJDP, now the Mental Inertia remix produced by myself and Sasha Müller. IMJDP is an artist from Colombia, and we've been getting a remix request from the Snare Recordings label from South Africa, so we went on and like did a thing like footwork, global bass, very minimalistic, very advanced, 160 BPM, has gotten like a major review by Uno Records from the UK, which is the main like online vendor and stuff, and still available on my Bandcamp and in stores worldwide. And talking the freebreakz forward label, which is a sub-label, sister label to Introdarin Recordings, as you might recognize. There is a freebreakz forward shirt I'm wearing, and well, news have it we're not like totally finished with that yet, but I'm working on a print-on-demand online shop for like fans of my labels, Introdarin Recordings, freebreakz forward, my website nightstyles.de, and other things under the name of like quality electronic music, which I'm working on constantly, adding new product and stuff. So if you're into that, if you're into merchandise and hoodies and stuff, there is a link down there in the doobly-doos, which leads to the shop run via Spreadshirt in Germany. So orders will be, or things will be printed on demand, orders will be available, and we have like a lot of product right now, but well, have a look for yourself. I will add like new things, new logo stuff within the next week or so. Have been adding like one thing today, but it's always like a process of 1 or 2 hours to get all the settings right. So things will be growing, but if you are into that kind of stuff, and if you like this t-shirt, get one, of course. The next one is a record you might have heard about a lot on the internet, because this was dubbed the most mysterious song on the internet by many for a few years, which has now been uncovered. This is Fex, Subways of Your Mind, and the story is about that song. Basically, the band is from Kiel, actually, from the early 80s, and there was a German radio show which like played demos and stuff, and in one of the shows they played like a cassette version of Subways of Your Mind, and which was never released. And actually the band, I think, never released an actual record at all. So someone had like a recording of that show and like uploaded that to the internet like a few years later, and many years later, and there was a lot of speculation who's behind that song. And actually now the Outer Edge label has found them, or someone had found them, and the Outer Edge label has found them and contacted them and like released the original version that was featured on that radio show on 7-inch. On the B-side, this is like Heart in Danger. And yeah, what this is a kind of synth-pop, kind of post-punk, very 80s, very lo-fi, of course, because, well, it is like a demo recording, but well, here's a sticker, hype sticker there, and yeah, this is, if you're a fan of like 80s, basically 80s more commercial, post-punk, new wave and stuff that sounded commercial and very catchy, this might be for you. This is of course super underground because Unearthed, it never has been released, but if you're into like the darker side of post-punk, this is not your thing maybe, but I like it. I do find it to be catchy, and the story is interesting and stuff, and it showcases the great potential the band would have had if someone, or a major label or a quasi-major, had picked that up. So interesting piece of history here, and rumors have it that the label, the Outer Edge, will put out another version, which a more polished version, which I'm not so fond of, I guess, when it comes to the idea, because well, the new version might sound great and stuff, but this feels like, okay, we have like this song that has been hype hyped a lot on the internet, and now we're like squeezing out every bit of money we can with like not only a few hundred 7-inches, which is a suitable format by the way, but also in like putting out another version and probably another version after that. So this is a thing I'm not so fond of. I will see if I like the new version, but this is the original and I would like it best, I guess. The next one is, well, an 8-inch white label on a new label. This is a lath cut thing. The artist is Sark. I hope you can see this here. The label is called Mono and the release name is simply One. 6 copies or 8 copies of those are out there, so nothing you will find in the wild ever, but a nice interesting addition here for those who like basically minimal techno of the mid 90s, late 90s, early 2000s Cologne variation. Actually, this is not from Cologne, but the sound is like, well, kind of minimal housey, minimal techno-y, a little bit of shuffle in there, which was like written as CHAFFEL in German as a style description for a certain variation of polka sounding techno. This is very toolish, so nothing like too extra special and recognizable, but a nice addition to the collection for all the DJs. Sark One on the new label Mono, which will release only lath cut releases and probably only in 8-inch format. The next one came to me as a promo, kind of, but not as a promo, but as a promo. So, well, as written on here, this is a record on the Mego label, Edition Mego actually, which was founded by Peter Rehberg back in the days, and this is his album Liminal States, which has a kind of OB strip, which I absolutely hate. So I know a lot of collectors are fond of these, but I don't get those. If you put like a plastic sleeve around that, this will not fit. It will be a major hassle, or will break or stuff. And if you leave it there, it will break anyway and slip around and stuff. So this is a long extended work, 1 track per side, basically one long term composition. Supposedly unreleased soundtrack work by Peter Rehberg, who has passed away a few years ago, as far as I know, I guess, but I could be mistaken. And this was for a, I guess, movie or something like that, and the sound is more interesting to me than the actual story behind that, because this is like ambient, drone ambient, very glacial. At some point it gets into more like meditative ambient with like echoes of like Southeast Asian ritual music, maybe very calm and chill and beautiful. If I was still doing my radio show Die Nachtschwestern on FSK Hamburg, the radio show I did first, starting in the late 90s, this would be a record that I would play there for sure. So very minimal, deep droney ambient, not really dark ambient, but well, no beats, just like sound waves and structures. You get the drift, I guess. So very suitable for my collection, and I like to get more minimal ambient as well. The next one is a reissue, Fresh and Low, on the Rawwax Treasures label, which is a sub-label of Rawwax, which is run by the DBH distribution company, which does a lot of labels like Dubwax, Chaiwax, Electrowax, a lot of like RXT and stuff. Originally released on the Guidance Recordings label in, I guess, 96. This is well, a little bit of minimal house, deep house. Came to me in some way, not really as a promo, but as a promo kind of. So interesting stuff. Fresh and Low have been re-releasing, I have been seeing a few re-releases of their music, so minimal house and like groovy house music is coming back as well, despite like the major rave techno and stuff still taking over dance floors. But I see more clubbier stuff coming back, and therefore this was a welcome addition especially as it came in, as I said, as a kind of promo, fresh and low, wind on water, the catalog number 5 on the Rawwax Treasures label. And the last one is a name you might be familiar with and a handwriting you might be familiar with as well. This is a record by Deadbeat on the Echo Chord label, which is called Pressure Double Down EP, pressed on beautiful brownish marble vinyl. I hope you can see this with the glare. There are very interesting meanderings color-wise when I look at the record from my side, so hope you can see this to a certain degree. And what this is Deadbeat at its best. Like 3 very extended tracks on here. 2 of them are on the brink of like dubbed out minimal house, minimal techno, dub techno. One track is more like deep dubbed out electronica, so if you're like a Deadbeat fan, you know what we're talking about and what we're getting into with this one. Very welcome. I love the electronica ambient track, but I also love the house tunes with the dub techno like approach, because this is something different in comparison to what we get as dub techno usually, which is basically all that deep unmixable bass drums, because they are so broad, so you cannot find that attack point properly, and those washed out sounds and atmospheres. Those are present in here too, but it's more like on a groove tip, and also with a little bit of like filtered vocals kind of. It's more on a proper like dance floor clubby tip, I guess, than a lot of the dub techno you get from people like Intrusion or something like that, and on labels like MACROSPACE, I guess, or whatever. So those are the records I like most for this month. I hope you enjoyed this, learned something, and if you know something about the rest of the records I have missed, please leave me a comment, of course. Check out the Spreadshirt shop, check out BANDCAMP, whatever, and new videos to come maybe in a few days. So baze.junkiii out, see you in the next one.